and most importantly, is that you're going to integrate back into your child's life these academics that were once difficult, because you need to be able to see the performance. You'll have your pre and your post measures, meaning you'll have your objective data, if you will, to say theoretically your child should be learning now, but that wasn't good enough for me either. You know, as a special educator myself, it's one thing to see things on paper, and it's another thing to see it in motion in real life. So I needed to make sure that the children that I worked with were able to generalize these new strengths, which means when they're working with me, if they did work with me in person or if they're working online and they're working with their mom at home, are they able to take those new strengths and use them in the classroom? Do they know how to do that? If they were compensating for so long and use, let's just say, a visual, like use a lot of pictures to remember things, well, can they now use just verbal? Like, can someone talk to them? Can they listen and hear well enough? Not like that their hearing will be fine. It's processing of the data. Is that memory bank for what they hear, coming in through their ears, is that strong enough now, where it wasn't before we started working, to be able to hold data and process and do something with it? If yes, can the child use it? Does the child know how to now turn off the visual component and use this auditory component? And that was just huge for me because, again, with my daughter being so low across the board at the time, I needed to make sure that the measures, although it was wonderful to see them on paper, I needed to make sure performance-wise that she was able to do it. And of course she was. And the great thing about this is that even for teachers, if you're a teacher watching this, if you got laid off, even if you didn't get laid off, and you're a teacher right now and you want to still be able to help the kids in your community, I mean, how great is this, that you'll be able to get in there now and you're tracking your students, and with your objective measures where your students are at, and subjectively why they're having some difficulties, which may manifest itself in different behaviors, right? So now you'll be able to get in there and understand why, target those underlying problems, those weaknesses, make them strengths, and then help them also in the classroom. Make it come out and make it be performance so that it is now a part of this child's life. And, if your mom's watching this or anyone that's interested in starting this business, you're obviously starting your own business, so that's a plus. But the bigger plus, the bigger gain that I would hope that you would be interested in is trying to make a positive impact on your community, and in a larger sense, you'd make some sort of an impact on the education paradigm of our country. We may not be able to go to Washington and protest and do whatever and say what we need to say, but in our own way, even helping one child be able to learn easier, more efficiently, and be able to use those skills and integrate it back into their life in the classroom. So now this child has an opportunity to live their life, to live out their dreams, and who knows, they're going to help our country someday, correct? Right, we don't know. So we don't want to pass up that opportunity for anyone. Everybody should have the right to learn, and everybody should have the right to live their dream. So that is, ideally why I started this whole program. It's the first launch of it, so the price that you see is very low compared to everything that you're going to get. I mean, you're basically given a business to start. It's like a business in a box. You'll get over 16 hours of training with me. You'll be in like the group format setting. We'll be using like a GoToMeeting, but it'll be 16 hours of tons and tons of content. And then even after that's done, you're still going to have follow-up training sessions with me. And then after that's done, you're still going to have a full year of membership into what I'm calling the Brain Trainer Connect.